What's up, ladies and non-ladies? It is Cerealkiler back again. Just got back from New York, was gone for about 10 days, and ready to get back into things just in time for this long-awaited Hall of Heroes with Arya. Now this one, I guess it's probably for the best, but I was expecting this one to use the old format, so I thought we were all going to go in here with like 2 level 20 monsters and just mow the thing down. But they did update it to kind of current format and monster difficulties, so I would say maybe it's a little easier than some of the other ones, or harder, kind of depending on your monster selection. If you have like a Velojule, so you just have basically 100% uptime immunity, this Hall of Heroes is stupid easy. The heal block is insane. There is just way, way, way too much heal block getting spit everywhere. Other than that, there's less of the holy shit crazy threat stuff going on. The Wave 3 boss can be a little nasty, and the Wave 6 boss can be a little nasty, and Wave 5 is kind of cumulatively nasty. But if you can keep the heal block off of your people just so you can do your basic, hit them a little bit, take a little damage, heal it back up, and do it over and over again deal, this one's a lot less, quote unquote, scary than some of the last ones. I've gone back and forth with a few different teams, and I've finally settled where I'm going to be farming for the rest of the weekend. Originally I went with just a bunch of dispellers, and I actually ended up with like 4 healers and a Theo, or I think 3 healers, a Theo, and a Veromos. And it works, but it's slow as dirt. And then I went a little bit more aggressively and tried a couple Verde comps, and I found a lot of Verde comps that will clear it in the 5 and something range, some of them in the low 5s, but they're all like 90% success. Some of them fail on Wave 3, which if all of the fails were on Wave 3, I probably would have just left it alone. What pissed me off about my quote-unquote Verde teams is probably half the fails were on Wave 6. So I would dig all the way through the Hall of Heroes and then fail at the end, and that, like, I hate that. It kills me, the inefficiency there. So I kept messing around with stuff. I ended up actually settling with this, pulling Verde out of the situation completely, and then actually pulling Kona in just for a little bit more comfort with this heal block. When I was failing with my Verde teams, I would end up having Bella burn his heal into a bunch of heal blocks, and then I would die shortly after that. Anything I tried to do with Verde and Kona would work, but it would be really slow. The fastest thing I could get is actually to pull my Kona and my Theo out and put my Verde in the leader position and my Ethna in. That team jams through this thing. I think I broke 5 minutes a couple times. So you're always in the 445 to 515, 530-ish range with that team. That team, for whatever reason, will not fail on Wave 3. It fails probably 10% of the time on Wave 6. And it was just so frustrating to fail on Wave 6, I ended up scrapping that. The last probably 1.5 Arias or so, I've been running this team right here. Haven't had a failure yet. I still like having Mikene in there, but I get way fewer deaths with this team. With all my other teams, Verde dies constantly. And if I have like an Ethna in here, she would die pretty constantly also. My team's fast enough where Mikene would just pull it back up, but because Verde and Ethna would be dying, basically all the time, I didn't have any room for like a, quote unquote bad luck accidental death. With this team right here, there's no, super squishy target that's just going to die constantly. So my only deaths are rare and spread out, and that pretty much ensures that Mikene always has her res available. Now, this stage right here is deceptively hard, at least depending on your comp. When I had Verde and Ethna in here, I narrowed down to the biggest problem being that my Verde would want to hit the fire one or the light one, and my Ethna would want to hit the light one and the water one. So if Bella armor broke the blue one, I would kill it relatively quickly, but I wouldn't get Verde's help. If Bella armor broke the fire one, Verde would hit it and proc everything, but my Ethna wouldn't hit the kill target. It actually ended up being the best for me when Bella armor broke the white one, but unfortunately she's the boss and has way more life, so even that wasn't ideal. I had seen the team fail for multiple different reasons on this stage. It's deceptively harder, and that light, the Arya, her number 3 hits pretty damn hard in this boss stage. So there you see that. That's 544. That's way faster. That's like half the time of my normal Hall of Heroes teams. And if you notice, my fastest run there was sub 5 minutes. It's pretty awesome. So I'm going to go ahead and give you guys the runes on all these monsters. I think this is the first Hall of Heroes where I actually have like relatively decent runes. Not necessarily on quality. My runes are mediocre, but they're all at least leveled up. The last rune removal day, I didn't really get a whole lot done, which thankfully was kind of nice, because the rune removal day before that, I basically broke like most of my monsters by putting a bunch of +9s and +12s that in the end would math out great, but I didn't have the mana to level them up. So frankly, it was kind of nice on this last Hall of Heroes, or this last free rune removal day, to only change, 4 or 5 monsters, and mainly just focus on small little changes. No tear the whole world down and build it back up kind of stuff. So I'm at 250 right now. I've summoned the 1, so I'm at 6 so far. Got off work, no more work for the weekend, so now I got the rest of the weekend to plow through these things. I'm aiming for 14. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching. As usual, please like, comment, or subscribe. If you have any questions, go ahead and leave them and I will get back to you. Have a good one. Later guys.